Hello.
Hi, happy Friday. Flex
Children,
Friday.
Children in Need Friday, and what's the one in America? About the sales? Is that not today?
Oh, no, it's UK.
Black Friday, yeah. So everybody's going to be trying to sell everything 70% off. Anyway, today we wanted to talk about what creates our lifestyle, what creates our daily routine, and that is habits.
Yes. Are you currently, or have you been aware of your habits? I remember doing a habit challenge whilst we were prep. Mine was chewing gum because it was scarily how much chewing gum I ate. And the reason why
and desserts. We have a habit of desserts as well.
Yeah. Actually, on holiday we got into the habit of having dessert, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that was a big bad habit. Anyway, are you aware of your habits? Morning, Christina. And the reason why is because we're currently doing a 7-day Booster Kicks Up program in our group at the minute. And it wasn't to just kind of talking about eating clean or losing weight. The focus was kind of sort of being aware of eating habits and possibly do you do things out of habit? So the habit could be, is it related to stress, comfort eating? Is it just because, like me, it was late at night and I thought, okay, so when I have my bowl of cereal, this habit lasted for way too long. And essentially, did I actually need it? Did my body need them extra calories?
And another one is convenience. So what we try to get people to do, because we're unaware of our own habits, they just happen, and before you know it, something goes and you're picking up things out of the cupboard or you're clearing your little one's plate, eating it without thinking about it. And what we need to do is we need to put a set of guidelines in place, take a step out and look at what you're currently doing, and you start to notice whether things are habitual. Like for me, we used to eat every 2 hours. We used to be like one of these that we'd eat from the first thing in the morning, last thing at night. Every 2 to 3 hours we'd have a meal. And when we first started fasting, I was telling myself that I'm never, I'm going to be starving, But realistically now, I know it was all habitual. I was thinking every 2 hours I need to eat purely because I was used to doing it. Now we have like 17, 18 hours in a day where we fast, and I don't ever really feel that hungry. So, that it's just making yourself aware of these habits, and you need to take a step out and look at it and ask yourself, is that habitual or is that something that I'm doing consciously?
And actually, one thing that got raised on the 7 days so far, we're on day 5 at the minute and they're smashing it, was because we've kind of, the first time we've ever kind of done where we've provided ideas of foods to have at breakfast. Well, we call them meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, meal 4. And one of the points that was raised was, I didn't need a protein bar to get my protein levels up. I kind of like forgot about all these other sources of protein that I can get in from my natural kind of, food sources.
Or a protein shake.
Or a protein shake, because that's not been included on this plan. And it's kind of great because it's helped sort of inspire our clients kind of to look at food sources as a first and then supplement the diet. Don't look for supplementation first. Look to kind of get everyone the food first of all.
And so what we want to try to do today was talk about making yourself aware. If you're struggling with your weight, is it your habits that are preventing you from moving forwards? And sometimes it might just be altering like 3 or 4 little habits over time to create a new set of habits, because that's all our lifestyle is. It's a set of habits. Like for us, it's habitual now. What we do, we wake up, we do our rituals, we wake Aoife May up, go to nursery. That's all, everything's habitual, but we start to include activity as part of that, so you don't think about it. But what we've made ourselves aware is removing the things that would prevent us from moving back, like the cereal late at night, like finishing Aoife May's plate, like telling ourselves stories that we need to eat every 2 hours because we're hungry, because we start to realise, actually, if I had a hot drink, do I still feel hungry? And if I have a hot drink and I still feel hungry, then we'd eat, because we know we're genuinely hungry. But what we were thinking is it's our mind telling us we're hungry because it's habitual.
And like it's just kind of doing things like smaller sort of steps. So like you don't need to kind of change everything at once. It's kind of just kind of taking small things away. A great habitual tip that I started early last year, and it really helped me, was having a pint of water first thing in the morning, because I was naturally a never good drinker. Like I never used to drink water. And I just found that by having this pint, it really helps. But the one thing it helps was my digestion, and it helped me kind of, there's an awful taboo subject, but toilet habits as well. It got me back regular, and that's something that we should all kind of be comfortable with talking, because if you're not going regular, then there is an issue there. Sorry for bringing the combo down.
Yeah, first thing in the morning. Sean saying food is fuel and more filling. Exactly, and that's one thing what all of our clients have said is they can't believe how much food they're eating. And this week, like the 7-day thing, what we're doing is actually lower calories than we'd have them on a weekly basis. The idea behind this is just to give them a bit of a boost and get a momentum effect. But once they've had that, they'll increase their calories a bit. But if they carry on eating what they're eating now and just increase their calories, they're going to feel like they're eating loads just purely because they're focusing on getting their nutrients from food. So, they're focusing on getting fruit and veg in, which is something that we don't practice it ourselves that much, so we don't preach it. We have done this week, and I can't believe, I think I'm going to lose about a stone this week. Maybe not that much, but...
one thing that I was saying, sorry, Ryan, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
Did you not?
But the cravings of sugar has gone, which is great because that's also something habitual as well. Craving sugar, and often there's a reason possibly why you're craving sugar. But to be able to diminish that craving is awesome for our side. But then also for them to feel good, for them to have tons of energy, for them to feel lighter. Now these are women who are the busy working women or they're full-time parents. They've possibly done every sort of diet in the past, so they don't have the most sort of greatest self-esteem in themselves and the most confidence in themselves. So for us to bring a boost into this program to see it, but not only that, for the support. They've always said they've lost 3 pounds so far, although some of them had to quit because they're going away. But
which is harsh.
Sorry, I don't mean quit, but okay. They've had to stop early because they've got a social event coming on. We would never stop anyone from to socialise, but the support in this group is just from another level. And I just hope I can live up to the results that they're getting.
Yeah, so I think that's all we wanted to cover today. It's just really making sure that if you're aware of your habits, because we can talk about getting down the gym, we can talk about trying to eat healthy, but unless we adapt our current lifestyle and our habits, it's never going to be a long-lasting thing. So if you're currently struggling to get to a gym and habitually there's things that are taking up your time, once you start to recognise actually these things are preventing me from getting to a gym because I'd like to get to a gym, then you can start to make a more conscious decision to make that gym 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week a habit.
Yeah. Sorry. Look at the foundations first, things that you can control, like Ryan said, look at the habits, be aware of things, be aware of the diet side, be aware of just general day-to-day activity levels. We've dropped Deepa May off, we've walked her to nursery, we've walked back, we've done an extra loop to just bring the activity levels up.
Another habit that we find that a lot of people have, and I'm very, very guilty of it. Every time I walk in the kitchen, I need to have something in my mouth when I leave.
Fridge.
Yeah, open the fridge. But how often do you do that? So, it's funny. You just almost, we say to some clients, put a photo of yourself in your before photo, when you didn't like it on the fridge. So that every time you go in there, you see it, and it starts to cue things to tell you, do you know what? I don't really need that. Am I actually hungry or not? And just by cutting out, if you're somebody that's having a biscuit 2 or 3 times a day when you pop into the kitchen, you're going to drop your calories by 150, 200 calories. Over the course of a year, that's going to make a huge difference to your weight loss.
When you go food shopping, do you do things habitually? Do you buy certain things because you think someone else wants it, but really you're buying it because you want it?
My habitual thing is bleach, innit? Bleach. I habitually buy bleach. We ended up one point having about 15 different things of bleach.
But yeah, so just be aware. Do you buy something for yourself to leave the supermarket habitually?
Yeah,
we can save you money.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all we wanted to cover today. We hope this is sort of little insight. If you start to notice little habits that have crept in, and particularly now this time of year, it's so easy. It's so easy. Like your glass of wine with dinner. That's a typical one as well that can easily rack up to 600 calories over the course of a week. So you think that's going to make a huge difference. There's never a valid excuse not to keep your health healthy. Exactly, and that's exactly what we want to try and do. Remove excuses, stop telling ourselves stories, just being honest and open and saying, I've got bad habits, I need to improve on them. And once you start to do that, it makes it less like I need to start a big program that's going to be really, really strict. But what it has to be is I'm going to start new healthy lifestyle habits that I'm going to follow that are going to keep me going, get me in the shape I want to be, but also then my children are going to pick up on these healthy habits, because we notice when we're in prep, what we're doing with our foods and how we change it, Aoife May picks up on it. So again, it draws back down to setting the right example for the little ones as well.
Sean says, buy bleach makes you big. He thinks he's tiny right now.
Yeah, I'm small at the minute. Yeah. off-season relaxing at the minute, but January we're back on it. All right, I think that's all we wanted to cover today. Have a good day, good weekend. Any questions, as always, drop us a DM. We've got a few topics that we want to cover next week.
If you notice like a habit of yourself, like being aware today, like writing things down, like become aware and you're like shocked by it, let us know as well, because I wasn't aware of my chewing gum habit until we did it, and I think I went for a packet or more a day. That's crazy.
Okay, and we have got a couple of big announcements next week as well, which we're looking forward to sharing. So, Ellie will tell me off for saying that, but have a good day, peeps. See ya.